visit, the narrator thinks about why she had taken such a long time to meet Mrs. Darling and collect back her things. She realizes that the war and the loss of her family had caused great pain and depression in her. She did not have the strength and courage to go back and collect the things from Mrs. Darling. Why didn't she have the strength and courage? All the household items had some special memories attached to it. So by seeing those household items, she would start recollecting those wonderful memories that she had with her family. Since she did not have the strength to remember her lost family, she did not go back to Mrs. Darling's house to collect those things. But after some time, once she was settled and she was starting to live a normal life, we should understand that after a war, people get completely broken and devastated. Devastated means completely shattered. And it takes a very long time for them to come back to normal life. Because there is this horror and pain and depression that they face during the wartime. So it took a long time for her to come back and be in normal situation. So after she had come into a normal state, she had that sudden curiosity inside her to go back and collect her belongings from Mrs. Darling. So she decides to visit Mrs. Darling for a second time. Now this time when she came to Mrs. Darling's house, she was greeted by Mrs. Darling's young daughter of 15 years. The girl very enthusiastically welcomed narrator and asked her to come inside the house. Once she was inside the house, she noticed that everything in their house, the furniture and all other items in the house were her belongings. The narrator started getting a growing discomfort inside her. There was a muggy smell. Muggy smell means dusty smell, which showed that Mrs. Darling and her family had not given proper care to that furniture. Hence, she did not look around much. When she sat down on a chair and was rubbing her fingers along a wooden tablecloth, she remembered that there was a burned mark on that tablecloth. The young girl offered tea to narrator. When she took out the teapot and the cups, the narrator recognized those utensils as her belongings. She remembered that the teapot had a gold lining on its lid. Unaware of her own words, the narrator says that it looks very nice. The girl tells her that the cutlery means the knives, forks and spoons, were antique pieces. She also shows off by saying that there are many more antique pieces in their house. But the narrator does not give any importance to the young girl's words. Her mind gets filled with many such happy and loving memories of her parents and her childhood. When the memories start flooding inside her, she felt a huge loss and pain. Again, the narrator started to speak. She said that we get so familiar with the common things around us that we do not give any importance to them. Often we forget to understand its value and existence because they have become so much a part of our life. This happens with people and the things around us. Isn't it, children? The people around us, our parents, our siblings, our best friends, they have become so much a part of our daily life that we even forget that these people may or may not be there in our life in future. We always regard these relationships as forever, and we do not give much importance to them. But imagine a situation that one day our parents may not be with us, our best friends may not be with us, our brothers or sisters may not be with us. How difficult our life would be to move on without these people, with the daily common silly conversations that we have with them. Isn't it going to be very difficult? But as they are with us, we never realize the importance of these people. It is a very natural phenomenon. So similarly, the narrator was feeling a huge loss within her because her parents and the things no longer belonged to her. She had lost all them. Now, to explain this idea that she had put forth, she speaks about a childhood incident to the young girl. She tells her that once as she was a young girl, her mother had asked her to polish. Polish means to keep clean the silverware in their house. Of course, as a young girl, the narrator could not understand what her mother was speaking about. So she asks her mother, "What silverware are you referring to?" Then her mother pointed out to her that the everyday spoon, fork and knives that she was eating with was the silverware in their house. And it was only then that she realized that the daily things that she had been using was made out of silver. Now, hearing to this incident, the young girl starts to laugh out. But very sharply the narrator tells her, "I'm sure you also don't know what you are eating with." And she was right. The girl was unaware of what she was eating with. She said that, "Let me go and check." At this point, the narrator jumps up and she tells that she wants to leave immediately. The excuse that she gives is that the train is about to leave. The narrator leaves the house, but she hears the sound of the spoons and forks jingling inside the house, which means that the girl was trying to find out whether they were also using silverware to eat with. The exact reason why the narrator didn't want to stay anymore in the house is because she was getting suffocated. Suffocated means she was getting filled up with all the memories flooding inside her. She could not anymore tolerate the pain that she was going through. After she left the house and as she was moving to the railway station, this time she makes a very stern decision in her life. And the decision is that she will never ever return to Mrs. Darling's house to collect back her belongings. There are two reasons why she makes this decision. And this is a very important question, a question which is most often asked in your exams. Now, what are these two reasons? The first reason is that all her belongings are now placed in a different house and now they have become a part of someone else's life. It no longer belonged to her. Hence, she understood that the memories surrounded with these household items would always be a part of her life. But those belongings will never be a part of her life. They now belong to someone else, and now they are creating memories for someone else. Hence, she did not want to go back and collect them. Another reason what she gives is that now she was living in a small rented apartment and there was no space in her small room to put these furniture and household items. Hence, it was sensible and practical for her to let those items remain in Mrs. Darling's house. So with that stern decision, she says that I resolved to forget the address. Of all the things that I had to forget, this was the easiest. Now children, why does the narrator say that it is easier for her to forget the address out of all other matters? Torture at the concentration camps, the threatenings of pain and death, the loss of loved ones, sleepless nights, nights filled with fear and terror. These are some haunting nightmares that a person lives with every day after you have survived a war. It completely shatters you and breaks you. But to survive our remaining life, to move forward and live a normal life, one needs to forget all these pain, torture, loss, death, everything. Like I said, the real healing happens only when we are letting go of these emotions and pain. Hence, she tells that it is important for her to forget the address and the belongings in that house so that she has to live a normal life. At this point, the narrator has acquired or got the strength to forget her past and move forward with a peaceful mind. So I hope you have understood this lesson. With this, we are concluding today's class. The notes of this chapter is attached and a test paper is also given. All should attempt the test paper. Read your textbook thoroughly and remember all the important points. Be good children and have a wonderful day. Thank you.